Hello, my friends. I hope you guys are well. And I know it's late in certain places, like the East Coast. And I'm directly on YouTube tonight. I haven't done a direct YouTube in a while. And I'm very pleased to be connecting with you guys. And I also want to thank everyone who's been supporting me via the website. I really appreciate you. Thank you. So, I wanted to title this Dr. Quantum. It just felt good because that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to go quantum, you guys. So thank you for being here to support your own journey. And we're doing this together. So I'm going to give it maybe 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to share some messages that I got for you guys. And hopefully it'll be helpful moving forward. So it's Dr. Quantum. That's my nickname tonight. But we're all quantum. Thank you, George. Alrighty. Thank you. So I think we can all attest to the fact that the last week or so has been pretty intense. Our emotions are running really high. There's been like a spike in our emotionality. I think we can all testify to that. And what I've been getting is that the energies are coming in fast and furious now. They're coming in fast and furious. And tonight, I'm making it a deliberate point to go very quantum because I get the strong spidey sense that you guys are going to respond positively to this, that you're in a receptive mode to receive this. And my goal is to pivot your consciousness. My goal tonight is to alter your state of consciousness so that you can receive instantaneous healing. So let's begin. I want you to picture or to visualize what it's like when you heal yourself, what it's like when you do the integrative work to heal aspects that are petrified, aspects that are traumatized. What does it feel like to you when you're healing your past? I want you to take a minute just to feel into that. What does it feel like to you when you are healing your past? When you're going back into your memory banks, you're traveling back to the past, and you reconcile your past. What does that feel like to you? Okay, I'm going to give you a perfect visual that I received tonight, and I was kind of blown away when I got this. I thought of an elevator. I thought of our past selves being stuck in an elevator. And who we've become is aware of what needs to be healed. So we're at the bottom of the floor, we're at the lobby, okay? We're in the lobby, and our past self is stuck at the top because it's caught in a story. And because as it was on its way to becoming you, it resisted the process, okay? So your past self became you, evidently. It's just that as it became you, it wasn't aware of you. So it was resisting the whole way through, and it got stuck in an elevator. And now you're in your present and you're like, okay, I need to rehabilitate this past version of myself and slowly bring it down to the lobby so that it can merge with me and we become one again, so that we can become one. And I love this metaphor because I've never gotten it before. So you're in the lobby and you start thinking about your past. Oh, I think I could have probably treated that person with a little more respect. Oh, yeah. Yep. I remember that time where I lashed out because I wasn't getting my way with someone. Oh, yep. Could have played that differently. Right. And every time you are rewriting your story, the elevator starts to go down. So the button lights on or it turns on, and your past self starts to drop down one level. Okay. Thank you for those super chats, you guys. And then you think about the next thing. Oh, yeah, oh, I was a little defensive with that person. I could have handled it this way. It would have been more appropriate. Oh, yeah, my heart was closed. I should have just leaned in more. I should have expressed myself more vulnerably, more transparently. And then another button lights up. And then eventually that past self arrives. And you're like, oh my God, I've untied every knot. I've allowed this past version of myself to merge into me and become one with the me that I've become, but there was still some energy there that was trapped. And because I've untied those knots, we are synchronized. We are synchronized. All right. Am I breaking up, you guys? Someone is saying that I'm breaking up right now. Is it clear? Please let me know if it's clear. Oh, awesome. Well, good, because I just upgraded my internet. It's like $115 or something now. So I got the top speed internet that you can't beat. And I have a brand new MacBook arriving next week. So it's going to have a better camera and apparently it's going to be amazing. So I've really been upgrading myself so that I can hit the road running in 2022 and really be of service to people even more. So thank you for that feedback. All right, now we got into the past. All right, there was all this pent up energy, all these pent up feelings, all these repressed emotions. And then you slowly take the air out of those tires. Okay, I'm bebopping around with my analogies, but you take the air out of the tires and you're like, oh, I can decompress now and I can breathe because we are synchronized. Now get ready to get your mind blown. Just like you have a past aspect of yourself or a past version of yourself that you've now integrated, because when we heal, we are essentially integrating that past version of ourselves and all the trauma that we underwent when we were that past version, because we were in such resistance and we weren't trusting the process, we weren't trusting the divine unfoldment. So whenever we don't trust the process, we have to rehabilitate. It's almost like you become a nurse and you have to nurse that past version of yourself and you have to rewrite that story, or you have to help that version of yourself come down all the way to the lobby, and then you merge. Okay, so now you're in the present. Now you're in the present. I want you to now envision, okay, because I know a lot of us are having a really hard time because we're getting bombarded left, right, and center by so much right now. I think it's been very intense for us lately. And we're like, universe, throw me a bone, or universe, I need a freaking break. I just need to exhale. That's how fast things have been lately. So the visual I got last night was, I want you to imagine that there's a future aspect. There's a future aspect of yourself in physical form. Okay. So you, whenever you do shadow work, whenever you heal yourself, you are the future version of that past self. Are you following? You are the future version of the past version of yourself that didn't trust you because it couldn't see you. It wasn't aware of you. So it chose the rough and the tough. It chose the very bumpy road and the path of most resistance as opposed to least resistance to get to you. And then it had to be rehabbed by you because it couldn't see you. It didn't have its eyes on you. It wasn't aware of you. It also wasn't receiving information from you. It wasn't connected to you telepathically. Okay. So you in this present are your past self's future version. Are you copying? But you're in the present. But whenever you heal yourself, you are the future version of a past self that is merging with you in this now. Okay. So in this present, there is also another future version of yourself, and you are its past. You are its past. You're in the present, but physically speaking, you are in the past of a future version of yourself that has already arrived in the future. Okay? So you might have a physical version of yourself right now in the future that is in a relationship, that is living in a pristine land, living in nature, surrounded by beautiful trees, gardening, maybe making food from scratch, whatever, baking. You're in love with your partner. I'm just going to use that as a very practical example. So, where you are right now, energetically, you're probably happy. Energetically, you're probably not wanting for anything. But on a physical level, you're not on your highest timeline yet. Okay. And I can admittedly say to you guys that energetically and emotionally, I'm very at peace. I'm very happy in my life and in my body because I've learned the hard way. But I've learned throughout my life that whenever I'm not grateful for what's here, I end up transferring my file of ungratefulness. I end up transferring my file of distrust, ungratefulness, mm, lack of faith. I can go fear, all of that stuff, right? Not being present. I end up transferring that file into a future version of myself. And then when I'm in the future, I have to rehabilitate this version. You see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see what I just did there? So, oftentimes, when we're unhappy and we are shaking our fist at the universe, universe, throw me a bone, universe, I'm doing everything you want me to, and I'm still not where I want to be. When you do that, you're actually, there's a bleed through. So, your energy of ungratefulness and your energy of resistance and your energy of lack of presence, of not being present, ends up transferring that energy, that file transfers like a computer into a future version of yourself. Okay? Because you're not trusting. And when you don't trust, you lose sight of that version of yourself that's trying to guide you. Your future self is trying to guide you. It's trying to guide you. It's trying to get you to take the path of least resistance so that you don't constantly bump up against walls. Boop, 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 boop. And eventually you get there and then you have to nurse yourself. You have to nurse all these wounds. You have to rehab yourself. You got it? So obviously, I'm sharing this as more of an analogy, but we know that everything exists here and now. Okay, but I'm just sharing this as a visual to help you guys get on board with this, that we are quantum beings and that everything is happening in this now. But we can begin to become aware of who and what is guiding us. Your future version of yourself is guiding you now. Your future version of yourself is saying, keep your eyes on me. Choose love every time. Okay. So now I'm going to get to the visual that I got. This future version of yourself is in a relationship. It's madly in love. It's on the highest timeline physically. Okay. Another example would be maybe you're already in a relationship and your highest timeline physically is that you buy the house of your dreams, or maybe that you're traveling more. So your future version of yourself is doing these things. Okay. Now, it is pulling you to it, i.e., it is integrating you now. All right. So you're the one in the elevator right now. Okay. And it is pressing the buttons to help you get down to the lobby. The only difference now is because you're aware of what you want and because you're aware that you're being guided, you're actually not going to get stuck in the elevator this time. The elevator is going to go straight down, and that's going to be really intense, which is why it's been super intense because you don't have time to stop anymore. You have to lean into the process. You have to trust that the elevator is going to take you to the lobby without a hitch. You can't get stuck anymore in that resistant mode. We can't get stuck. So The reason why things have been so crazy lately is because your future self is working overtime to get you to operate with an open heart and not be afraid of the process. Okay? I'm going to use another example so that you guys really, really get it. The self that you are right now in this now moment, you might be happy, you might be peaceful, but you've probably been feeling like you're not on your highest timeline. You're in love with yourself, but you don't have someone loving on you yet. You are wealthy spiritually, but maybe you're not wealthy financially yet. Okay. So this self that I'm speaking to now is here now, but for some reason, you don't feel like you're on your highest timeline physically. You might be on your highest timeline emotionally and energetically or not, but you're definitely not on your highest timeline physically. Okay. I want you to imagine that your future self has already arrived in the future. Your future self is already madly in love. Your future self is already in that house. Your future self already has plenty of money in the bank. It's done. It's a done deal. It's already there physically. And it's throwing you a rope so that it can rope you, pull you to it. So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you get bruised along the way. It doesn't matter if you get slightly scathed along the way. It doesn't matter because you're going to get there because it's already there. It's already arrived. The reason why I love that visual so much, you guys, is because I tend to be someone when I'm struggling, I go back into my cave, or I'm like a tortoise and I go back into my shell until everything goes away and then I start again. Okay. I love this visual so much because it makes me feel like I can be more fearless. Like I'm just going to get dragged to my future self and I'm going to be moving through all these different movie scenes. And yeah, someone might punch me. Yeah, someone might slap me. Yes, a leaf on a tree or a branch on a tree might hit me and scab me, but it doesn't matter because my future self is integrating me. I am its past. I am my future self's past. Just like you have a past that you integrated and it finally merged with you as you. You are now in the process of merging with your future self. Can you see that? And nothing can stop it. Can you see that? Can you see that? The only difference now is that you're so aware of your future self that it's not going to stop. You don't get time on the elevator anymore. It's like, let's go. Woo! Right? Woo! Let's go. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how messy it gets because your future self that's on the higher physical timeline has already arrived. Has already arrived. And if you link into it, then you will choose love every time. And guess what's going to happen next? When you finally arrive in that beautiful house, when you finally arrive to that amazing significant other who's going to love on you and squeeze you, you will not have to rehabilitate you. You will not have to rehabilitate your past. The only reason why you had to nurse your past is because your past was so afraid of you. It didn't trust you. But you got here, didn't you? You got here, didn't you? You did get here. Because you got here, you're like, ooh, I have unfinished business. I need to heal my past. I need to undo all those knots. I need to help that aspect of myself go down the elevator by rewriting my story, by reframing what's happened to me, by reframing what's happened to me, by healing those traumas, by seeing how I could have treated people better, right? And just by bringing awareness to every movie scene of your past, you're untangling those knots, you know? But you're having to do the work, you're having to nurse it. And right now we're being asked not to have to nurse ourselves in the future. Our future self is imploring us to just lean into the process and trust the unfoldment and just, woo, yep, I'm going, woo, I'm going. I don't need to go back into my cave. I don't need to crawl back into my shell. It's done. It's a done deal. The other message I was getting is the reason why things have intensified so much lately is because we need to clear all of that residue before the end of the year. Because when 2022 comes around, we're going to hit the road running. That's why I'm getting prepared now. I upgraded my internet, I got a new MacBook. Like I'm stepping my game up right now because things are going to get really messy right now, but it's for our good. We are peeling away or stripping away that residue so that we can vibrate faster and higher, right? We don't have time to process like we used to. All this shadow work, all the healing work that we do is a lot of processing. It's almost like your computer has that rainbow wheel spinning. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, cool. Woo, I just merged. And then we keep spinning, processing, revisiting old sites, revisiting old memories, traveling to the past. It's a lot of processing. And we're not going to be processing as much anymore. Okay? Because the heart fully trusts. The heart is uninhibited. You're uninhibited. You're just, woo, let's go. All right. So now let me talk about something else. I just want to give a shout out to Princess Asmahan. Okay. Maybe she's a real princess, y'all. So now I want to talk about something else. Your past, this is where it gets really quantum. You ready? Are you ready? This is where it gets really quantum. The future and the past are working in tandem. So as you heal your past and you tie up loose ends as it relates to your past, you are actually getting out of your own way so that you can be dragged into your future. So you're helping your future self pull you into the future. You got it? So as you heal your past and you tie up those loose ends or you close those loops, you are enabling your future self to drag you, to integrate you into the future. It's all the same because it's all happening now. So you're going to find that things that you used to avoid are going to show up super loud right now. I'll give you an example of what happened to me 2 days ago. So I went on a walk with someone whom I didn't know, but just an acquaintance. And it was super friendly, super pleasant. The person lives on my street. So it was like, hey, let's just meet here and go for a walk. So it was very pleasant, just friendly. The person texted me the next day and hold up, I'll read the text real quick. Okay, hold on. Dr. Quantum gonna read the text. So this person said, it was nice to see you. I'm open for another, like another walk, if you are. This was the day after. So then I said, yeah, it was nice to see you too. I'm not much of a planner, but that would be great at some point. Let's stay in touch. That's pretty fair, right? Also, I'm not the best texter, which is true. As you can clearly see, not personal, I promise. So that's what I said. It's not personal, I promise. Because I'm really not a texter. I don't like the whole, like, I don't love texting. Okay. So I was very honest and I said, it's not personal, I promise. So this person responded and said, I'm around. Sometimes it's good to plan, but I'm flexible. Would be nice. 3 dots. Would be nice. So then I started feeling like, oh, they're kind of pushing it a little bit, right? But it's cool. I understand. It's cool. I understand. But they're like, would be nice. 3 dots, waiting for my response. So, okay, my old self, Phil, would have been like, "Yo, they're not hearing me right now." Like they're kind of insisting a little bit, like they're not hearing me. And I was very fair in my text, and I said that I enjoyed it, and they're not hearing me. So I'm just gonna back off, and I'm just gonna avoid them because they're not getting it. So that's what I would usually do is I would avoid them because they didn't hear me the first time and I don't want to get into it with them. Okay? So this is what I said today because we are being asked to tie up loose ends from a compassionate and loving place. I said, I understand and I'm sorry. I just have a lot of commitments related to my mission work, which is why I don't plan anything in my personal life. I hope you're having a great day. Okay. So I basically said, I understand and I'm sorry. Like I apologized. I just have a lot of commitments related to my mission work. And they ended up responding very kindly. And that's my point, you guys. All these things from your past are going to rear their swollen heads right now, rear their ugly heads, so that you don't run away from it anymore, so that you complete what you started. Because otherwise, you're going to leave that person in the dark. So we're being asked right now to lovingly respond to people from a place that's very candid, from a place that's very truthful, but also very loving. Like it just is what it is. Like I'm just committed to my mission right now. It's not towards you, it's nothing personal towards you. It just is what it is the isness of life. And when you live in the isness of life, people really understand and hear you because they know you're not lying, you know? I was telling my friend Lori today that I'm just a now moment personified. I am just a now moment. That's all I am. So if we go on a walk, I am a now moment walking with you. But then I'm gone. You know what I mean? It's just that's how the now exists. It's a vibrational response. I am a vibrational response. And if we can live that way, we are a vibrational response to the now moment, and then we're gone. Then we can live a much more healthier and functional life and have much more respectable or respectful relationships. You pop in, you pop out. Boom. There's no attachment. Pop in, pop out. No attachment. So what I wanted to say is that your past is going to present. Ooh, your past is going to present itself uh, uh, very loudly right now, so that you can tie up that loose end. And as you heal your past, by not getting defensive, by not trying to overly explain yourself or justify yourself or setting strong boundaries like you're trying to prove a point, you are going to allow your future self to whoop, pull you into that future. But again, it's all happening here and now. It's just that there are physical versions. So, energetically, the entire quantum field is enfolded in this now. I just saw that orb. The entire quantum field energetically is enfolded in this now. But physically, you're never going to get to be 13 years old again. You can only access your 13-year-old self or your last week self energetically. You cannot go back physically. Okay? That train has already left the station, but it's always here to work in concert with you now, energetically. And the truth is, energy is all there is. It's all there is. So if we can start to patch up all those little cracks in the energy wall right now, then we can rest assured that our future is going to be so bright and our present is going to be so bright, equally bright, because now we know where we're going. And we get to appreciate this now because we know we're never going to have this again. We know we're never going to get to taste this again, and that's the right mindset. That's the right mentality to have in your life is I will never get to taste this now moment again. So let me appreciate my apartment. Let me appreciate this meal because when you do that, you're grateful. And when you're not grateful, you transfer that file of ungratefulness in another now moment, in another now moment. And then you're going to have to pay those consequences later. It's like a debt that you accrue later. So you might get to where you want to be physically, but if you complain now, what's going to happen is when you get there physically, you might go, oh, but I miss what I had. Or, oh, I think I should move back home. Or, oh, but I miss my friends. That means there was a bleed through. You got it? So appreciate your friends now. Appreciate the city you live in now. Because if you don't appreciate it, it's going to bleed through into that other version of yourself, which is in the physical future. And you're going to go, I miss my friends. I'm homesick. Oh, I wish I still had that. I wish I still had that simple life. That's because you didn't appreciate it when you had it. It's all here now. Remember, your future self is interfacing with you now. You are in its memory. You are in the memory of your future self. You are a past self. And very soon you won't be here anymore. This will be a memory. You are in a memory. And your future self is like, hey, we're here working with you. Let's make this easy. Let's lean into love. Let's lean into vulnerability. Let's lean into transparency. Let's lean into compassion. And that way, you're not going to constantly bump up against all these issues because you're constantly resisting the process. Anytime you resist the process, you're getting stuck in the elevator. And in the future, your future self is going to be in the lobby like, yo, okay, let's work on rewriting the story. Let's help this version, this past version down into the lobby. You don't want to do that, right? You don't want to do that. So I just want you to know, I went super quantum, Dr. Quantum, y'all. I just want you to know that whatever you're going through right now, if it's challenging, if it's uncomfortable, I'm going through it too. My soul contract is such that I go through everything and more. Like I go through so much pain in my life because I've always had an appetite for wisdom. And you don't get wisdom when everything's going well. You accumulate wisdom when you can gracefully go through the hard times and then come out and exhale again and feel powerful, more powerful than ever. When you're not fazed by the darkness, when you don't get caught up in stories and you just surrender to the process. Surrender is the key word coming up this month. Surrender gracefully, surrender graciously. So just know that if you're going through a rough patch right now, it's for your good. The universe is like, hey, we're going to squeeze all the mud out of your body, all the gunk, all the filth out of your body right now, and it's going to hurt. You know why? Because you don't get stuck in the elevator. You get it? Do you understand that? That's why it's so fast right now, because you're on the elevator and you're going straight down to the lobby. And the reason why you're going straight down to the lobby is because your heart is open and you don't have time to not trust. But the integration is happening much faster, meaning your future self is pulling you into its version of that timeline now. That's why everything's so fast. That's why you're going through so much right now, because you're not going to get stuck in the elevator. That's why. You get it? So every time you find yourself gripping on to the elevator, I'm not ready to go down. I'm not ready to go to the elevator to the lobby. I'm not ready to go to the lobby. Just catch yourself and be like, wait, I'm not trusting my future self. I need to link up like a Bluetooth. I need to connect with my future self right now because my future self has already arrived. My future self is like, yo, let go. We've got you. Like you're going down to the lobby and things are much better here because we're merged. We are merged. Did you guys catch that? Did you catch it? Good. Whew, man, I went quantum in this. I think I earned the title, y'all. Dr. Quantum. So anyways, if you'd like to support me, I appreciate it, but I never expect it. My website is feelgoodlife.com/donate. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and just being here for you. All right. I love you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.